So apparently we have two chapters that got leaked and didn't expect this overnight. So apparently the Conjuring is going to be chapter 23, and I wanted to be surprised to see these chapters, but it seemed like everything happened at once as far as the current chapter that's in the works, and then the next chapter, which is going to be a licensed chapter containing the Conjuring. So I don't know, this could be a potential map that we'll be running around in as survivors. I don't know how this is really going to play out, but I came up with a couple ideas. And first, I'm going to start with the chapter 22 leaks. So I'm not too sure what she's going to be capable of, but it looks like she's going to be the master of crows and being able to utilize these crows as her power. And the bird lady or something like that, I'm not sure if that's really going to be her name. It seems like it's playing the bird lady, just being able to control this new killer. So this new chapter that's on currently in the works for chapter 22 is going to be all about the killer, and maybe from what I heard, it's going to be also a new playable map. So I don't think we're probably going to get a new map with the Conjuring chapter for chapter 23. If that is true, if it turns out to be real, who knows if it is. And let me know what you guys think in the comments about these particular chapters being revealed. This crow lady or maybe the bird lady, to be able to control these birds and being able to have and utilize them and use them to her advantage. So a little idea I just put together on, as I sort of mentioned yesterday, is maybe the PTB is coming out next week apparently, so you guys will be able to test it out on PC. I'm curious to see how she's going to work and what if her perks are going to be any good, and maybe some of the perks I like to teach my killers and just change up my build for my killers that I like to use, and running around with Oni, Deathslinger, and many others that I like to use, Nemesis and Pinhead. But I want to see what she's going to be capable of for next week. And just a little idea, I'm thinking maybe she can utilize these crows to really be able to be able to tell on the survivors to compromise their location, and maybe something similar to how Tinkerer works. Maybe they can be used to, they can properly blink or maybe activate Killer Instinct when some generator is close to being done, and maybe it can just also expose hidden survivors that are hiding in lockers, so maybe they can fly above them. See what I'm saying? So it'll be really cool to see that utilized. So I don't know what she's going to be capable of for her power or anything like that. um as far as this bird lady is going to be concerned for the new killer for this chapter 22 and what the map is going to be looking like, I can't wait to see how that all comes into play. And it also seems like we're going to be getting a new survivor, so I don't know what he's going to be specializing in for his perks, or maybe he'll have some sort of new, this will probably be the next character, just something that comes to mind. See how we have Michaela. She's the first survivor that has boon totems. She has two boon totem exclusive perks, Shadow Step and Healing Touch. So, or Circle of Healing, for the most part. Those two perks, maybe this guy or whoever this sort of survivor is going to end up being and implemented for chapter 22 is probably going to have a boon totem, maybe one or two new unique boon totems themselves. See what I'm saying? So maybe it'll probably be another survivor that has his or her own boon totem perks, just like Michaela Reed has hers. So that's what, once they introduce that, it wouldn't make sense to have just one survivor to just have boon totem perks. Maybe another survivor, another unique survivor is going to have a boon totem of a boon totem perk of unique abilities or something like that. So even if he doesn't, or whoever it is, I'm cool with it either way, because those perks are really strong. I think they're some of the best in the game. So those are just a couple of ideas, and just talking a little bit about chapter 22 with the bird lady. So it's just funny just to say that. Is this really going to be the killer's name? Or maybe she'll have a different name and maybe some different powers outside of the crows, and maybe her own unique weapon that she can run around and swing at the survivors to attack. So I can't wait to see how that all comes into play next week. And I'm not sure if they're going to show even more today, about this particular killer or any more sort of teasers for it. But now that the news is already out, so I'm not sure how they're going to really be able to, what they're going to actually post now. Because we got chapter 22, and now we're going to get into chapter 23, which is going to be the licensed chapter of The Conjuring. Is it true? Is it really coming to DVD? Who knows what's going to really happen? Because they might end up changing it. You never know. Now that it got revealed, they might end up changing it to something else. But The Conjuring is another one of my favorite scary movies, and that's why I brought up this little background. So maybe this could be a potential map that we can play on. And The Conjuring started way before we had other faces. The Conjuring started with Annabelle, the doll. So maybe she will probably be a playable character, or maybe a killer itself being able to teleport around the map. Another little idea: if it's not Annabelle, maybe it could be Valak or something like that. If I'm saying her name right, she could be a playable killer in the game. So maybe with her potential power of being able to blind the survivors, might be a cool little thing that I could probably end up seeing. Affecting the survivors with oblivious or maybe the blindness, and maybe you'll be able to have to cleanse yourself from that status, from the blindness, so you won't be able to see other survivors, and maybe some other different effects that she can have on the survivors. If you're in their terror radius, for example, you can suffer the oblivious status or the blindness effect for a certain amount of time until you get out of her terror radius. See, it could be unique, and just so many different things they could really put together for these chapters. So I don't want to say too much about the chapter itself, because I don't know all the details as far as chapter 23 and how it's going to be implemented. We don't know if we're going to get this map. We don't know if we're going to even get a survivor. Maybe we'll get Lorraine or something like that. Somebody from the Conjuring movie. So either 1, 2, or something like that. We don't know who we're going to get. If we even get a survivor for chapter 23. So we'll just have to see how everything plays out. But I just wanted to come out with a little bit of a reaction video to share, and maybe you guys can let me know what you guys think of this chapter, for both chapters at least, and maybe if you guys seen Conjuring, and maybe some potential ideas of what this bird killer might be capable of, or maybe someone as an idea for the Conjuring chapter being a licensed chapter. This is another chapter that I like, and I'm perfectly fine with, even though it's not Chucky. I still want him in this game. It'll be so much fun to have him in the game. Jeepers Creepers, as I mentioned yesterday, and the list goes on. Candyman. It's so many classic horror icons that they can implement into this game, and I think they can really get anybody they want, and be able to be a perfect fit for this game. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm definitely excited to see these 2 chapters, especially with The Conjuring being another one of my favorite scary movies. So we'll see what they put together, and what exactly is going to be implemented and just added when it comes out in the near future. But just like I said, they might end up changing it. They might get a different license and get a different killer instead. But if it does turn out to be true, I definitely can't wait to see what they add.